Well, I'm sure I could have dug up a few more plays yesterday, but keep the betting bank moving forward. Bologna was the key one yesterday. Took a chance. Modena getting an equaliser against bottom of the table Cosenza in Serie B. Cosenza desperate need for points, but Modena 10th in the league could really help their automatic promotion spot with an equaliser, which they got. So delighted with those. Union Berlin and Holstein Kiel break even. I played the +1 market, but I covered it with insurance. So got out of that one unscathed. That's one of the weakest 1.5 favourites you'll ever see. There were some other potential plays a bit later on. I thought the live stream went well with what we were given. Any plays afterwards? Not really. I couldn't spot much apart from Roma and Como. They've got some history together as well. Missed this one earlier on in the live stream. A Lyon equaliser, 1.7 home favourites do tend not to slip up. It's my general feeling. Well, they did slip up there, 1.55, but caveat, they don't tend to cock it up for the trader. So you can take insurance out, and it tends to be the worst case scenario. Plenty going on yesterday. Serie A, that was the play I could have got later on. Not going to be playing a derby-style match, Milan and Lazio, although did the red card change the complexion of this one? Not really. But the Roma and Como one, it's 2-0 for Como last time these two met. Two very late goals. Possibilities here. And you would have been rewarded with Roma, who were pretty strong favourites at home. And that's what would have triggered the interest, 1.95 at home. So, although I picked out just a couple yesterday, could have got a few more. Palermo we were watching in the live stream, weren't we? Catanzaro, 4th in Serie B. Watching for the possibility of an equaliser for them as well, but waiting a little bit too long to take on Reggiana. Look at the difference this has made. Take 3 points away from that. They're down here. Now they've got a semi-final berth. At the moment, Catanzaro. It's all about motivation at this stage of the season for some of my trades, picking some out. Ajax just scraping the win yesterday. And elsewhere, Spanish La Liga. Well, Aberdeen did deserve that equaliser on in-play stats, but not very reliable at all of late. That was easy as you like once the red card came in for Sociedad. But if you were lucky enough to get involved 1-0, 2-0, any unquoted, well, you probably wouldn't have done, because they tend to do that in the 20th minute mark. Would have got a couple of second half goals. Your hands are really tied here. Such an early red card. The market's factored everything in. You can't get any value at all. Alaves did deserve an equaliser against Mallorca if you're dealing purely on the in-play stats. Look at that, 19-15. They did deserve it, that equaliser. So they're desperate need for points as well. So a quietish second half of the session. The only thing, as I say, that stood out was Roma against Como as far as quality is concerned. Looking on to today, and it's a very quiet Monday. We've got Nottingham Forest against Ipswich in the FA Cup. Up to the managers whether they want a cup run or want to pursue Europe or staying up. I'm not going to research, not going to offer you any angles either. Professional Development League, likely to be seeing over 2.5 goals in that one. Ajaccio and Dunkerque. Have a look at the standings, because that gives you the real motivation at this stage of the season. Ajaccio and Dunkerque. Well, Dunkerque 4th with a win. Take them to 48. Knocking on the door of automatic promotion. Talk about motivation there. Ajaccio, mid-table mediocrity for them, 5 points above the relegation zone. But it's Dunkerque who have all the motivation today. Game in hand over the top three. A win, take them in between second and third, with only 1 point away from that beauty automatic promotion. That is going on the notice board for later. Ajaccio and Dunkerque. Premier Division in Ireland, there's very little I can offer you. We're only 2 or 3 matches into the season. Absolutely nothing to look at presently. Wait for about 8 or 9 matches under our belts before we start getting angles. Early season eyecatchers. Shelburne are yet to lose. They're away at Galway today. Waterford, second in the league after 3 matches. They're at home to Cork City. They'll be fancying that one today, but it's only 2.3 the favourite. It's a tough old coupon. Bohemians, 7th in the league, are playing the Drogs, who I think... Where are the Drogs? Well, they're third, so that's interesting. An odds-on favourite against third. They're only third because they've had a couple of draws. But as I say, far too early in the season. Juventus against Verona. Let's take a look at this one. Well, a good technique you could try is to do your research before knowing the odds. I've forgotten the odds here, but it would suggest Juve would be favourite today. 3 consecutive home wins. Run of 5 wins in 6. Only 1 defeat. Hellas Verona all over the shop, aren't they? 2 recent wins, 1-0 only. I think we can take them on if they score first today. Tend to lose without scoring against big guns, Napoli, Lazio, AC Milan, Atalanta. You'll be expecting similar against Juve today. No defeat in 13 at home, scoring in the last 13 overall, the old lady. 5th against 14th. Looks as if they will enjoy playing the mid-table. There's a very strong winning pattern there between 9th and 15th. Hellas Verona will tend to concede 2+ goals against the big guns. That generally seems to be the angle. So the likelihood of conceding at least 2 today. Goal times. 12 goals scored in the last 15 minutes. Last half hour of home matches for Juve. They're going to end strongly if they need goals as well. So for me, I would put about a 1.75 home favourite. Well, 1.33. Much stronger. So the market's a lot more confident than me. But it looks about right, doesn't it? Only the 1 defeat all season for Juve. That's certainly one to look out for. Eerste Divisie, likely to get your goals. Rakau, odds on against Lechia Gdansk. That will get some interest at 6 o'clock. Pacos Ferreira Rocher against Oliverense. We can have a look where these two are. We've got an odds on favourite at home. The kind of odds I like. Pacos Ferreira. Well, just above the relegation zone by some 6 points. So no panic stations just yet, but they're going to have to start moving away from Porto B. Oliverense in the relegation zone. So this is a relegation 6-pointer this evening. It's important that Oliverense take points off Pacos. There's a real motivation for the away side to take points off Pacos. Keep them on 27. So despite the odds, the motivation is with the away side to take points. And there's the Villareal Espanyol match. I think we've looked at it, haven't we? Already the old lady, not the old lady, the Yellow Submarine at home today. Turkish Super League. We had the big guns out yesterday, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce. But Eyüpspor having a great season, the Turkish Yorkshiremen. Top 5 berth, I believe. So they've produced some excellent performances above expectation. Other mentionables. Brøndby, very impressive in their opening couple of matches in the Super League. well, on return from the long winter break, tend to be very reliable. 6 o'clock start there. Premier League 2, over 2.5 goals expected in the vast majority of these matches as well. So although it was a modest weekend, come out of the weekend with a decent enough strike rate, despite the limited number of plays. The Bologna one really making the money yesterday, and taking on Cosenza, bottom of the league, making the money yesterday. Break even on Union Berlin. It's the beauty of taking out insurance, isn't it? Keep harping on about insurance. It does come to your rescue more often than not. So this is all the weekend stuff. Generally impressed with it. Only a couple of plays, but boosting the bank considerably this weekend. So can have a good tilt this evening. Well, I might be on hand for members. I'm keen to keep trading after being hacked and having all my money stolen. I do have an increased motivation to try to keep that betting bank ticking over each evening. Plenty to have us interested in. 6 o'clock looks a good starting point, but do remember it is my official day off today. So if I don't turn up, you'll know why. Bit too early in Ireland to be strongly interested in that. Forest and Ipswich, it's all about in-play stats. Dunkerque, though, huge motivation for them at 7.45. That's the standout. Juve look about right here. I thought there'd be slightly higher odds. Looks about right. Verona tend to concede 2 goals at least. Juventus only beaten them once all season. Quite something. Raquel would stand out for me this evening as well. Pacos Ferreiro Rocher and Oliveirense, relegation 6-pointer-ish. Not sure 1.73 is an accurate representation of Pacos. Villareal Espanyol. I would expect Villareal to get the job done. Before I go, we can have a quick look at that one if we haven't done already. If we have done already, you'll excuse my Joe Biden-like state. Villareal Espanyol. I would be favouring Villareal. One of those rare seasons they're back on form, the Yellow Submarine. After being in the wilderness for a little while, you can see this excellent recent run as well. 3 wins in 4. Espanyol, though, only beaten twice since the 14th of December. 1 goal in it, defeats in the last 3. They're looking to be a tough nut to crack, aren't they? Espanyol. Both teams to score 5 of the last 7 matches. Beating of Real Madrid as well recently, and Alaves have got that 1-1 draw yesterday. So they might be a tough nut to crack. Set up defensively to be tough to beat. Scored in the last 12 at home, Villareal, so they're going to have to be careful, Espanyol. Likely to concede. Top 5, Villareal. Outside the top 5, particularly 10th and lower, unbeaten. So note that. Espanyol on the road, awful. Scoring that 2 goals, they haven't done so away from home yet. If that pattern continues, we'll be looking to take on any Espanyol lead with our old pals. Insurance, of course. Tend to score their second half goals away. Tend to concede heavily in the first half hour. 12 goals. Tend to score 15 in the first half. First 45 at home. So we might see a first half goal here today if Villareal are to aim for the win. That's where Espanyol are at their weakest. First 15 minutes of away matches. 12 goals conceded. Sorry, first half hour. So, yeah, that looks about right for Villareal, doesn't it? So we've got some very readable matches this evening. Quite happy with that coupon. Now, if you want to start grabbing your simple greens like we've done over the weekend, it just adds up, doesn't it? There's little bits here, little bits there. Soon adds up and things become very nice indeed. That was my new lay the draw technique for the second half. Working out very well as well. So if you want to learn a little bit of that, then join Football Trading Profits members area. You know the drill by now. Sign up. Just because it's coming up to the summer doesn't mean there's going to be football absent. Plenty of football over the summer. We've got the Irish, Norwegian Elite Serie and Danish Super League, Finnish Vikhausliga, Swedish Allsvenskan, and we've got the secondary leagues of those as well. Swedish First Division, the Superettan, Norwegian First Division as well. Very tradable leagues. And of course, over the summer, we've got tennis trading, which is something I'm keen for you to get to know. So if you fancy a bit of that, then join the free trial offer, or wait for the pop-up, or use the links in the description. Sign up for your free trading course. No Premier League research for you this weekend, but you get a free trading course out of that. Day off for me today, but it's a compelling coupon, compelling argument for some of these sites. Others look very readable as well this evening. It could be a coupon that gets me out and up, particularly Dunkerque later on. Could change their season 3 points